part 2 of episode 1. Unfortunately, we had a network problem and it dropped it. So, if you're just kind of joining me now, we start out with our respawn pod, did some mining, we're on our way over, and we saw this munitions drone, and we decided to do some piracy for the components to be able to build the things that we need to build. So we're going to basically scrap this entire ship, except for that. That is, well, that would be a warhead. And generally speaking, when you mess with those, it does not go well for you. So, but right now, we're running out of power, so we need to get our tails back here because we're going to start taking damage. So, yeah.
No energy.
Come on! Come on! We got to get back fast! Oh no. We're at max speed. Uh-oh, bad guys over there too.
Health low.
If we get down to 10, I'm gonna stop moving.
Health critical.
Alright, let's go. Oh, we made it to the door. Now when you die, since you have a first aid kit, a survival kit, you also have a respawn point. So that's why it's kind of important to have your survival kit handy. Alright, so here we are. Let's go ahead and grab our stuff, and while we're at it, we can deposit all these wonderful components in our cargo pod. Now, I would normally fly over there with the ship, and we would just drop stuff off directly. However, we got to be careful, because we will fly over there, but we're not going to fly like super close, because there's the small detail of the warhead there that could blow up if we get too close. So, yeah, I would say we're probably good to be about, I would say, 2.6 clicks out. We still don't know if there's any other defensive blocks specifically tied to the warhead. We don't know what kind of distance till it arms. If it does arm, probably most likely would be, my guess is it's set so that if another ship gets within a certain distance of it, if that ship is deemed enemy or deemed to be a threat, then they will detonate and blow up the supply. So, but I don't know. I just don't want to spend like a bunch of time trying to get out here. So we're gonna zip up here. We got a lot of good components here, stuff that we can't even get without a assembler, so it's really nice to be able to make that to make this grab. Unfortunately, if you'll notice, every time we that's close enough. Every time we grind down on it, we lose reputation, but we also get reputation with the space pirates. Anytime you grind down any of the corporate factions, you're going to get space pirate benefit as far as to your reputation. Every time you wipe out the space pirates, it does not give you better reputation with everybody else. It's kind of weird that way, but that's how it is. If you want better reputations with these guys, with the corporations, you have to do contracts with them. That's how you get it back. And trust me, stealing with piracy, you lose a lot more reputation than you do. Oh look, it's gone. Yes, I was hoping that was the case. When we died and brought back, since it wasn't attached and it wasn't powered. Ha! Alright, cool. What do we got there? That's an ion thruster. We got a battery. Unfortunately, it's a small grid battery, so we can't really use it for the... if we grind it up, it's going to separate out and destroy the cells. We could, however, if we wanted to, use this drone as a starter small grid ship if we wanted, which is an option we could possibly do. That is one thing you can do. However, because of our progression, we really don't have the capability to build a lot of this stuff. So I think for our purposes, grinding it all down for parts is probably our best option, at least right now. That being said, let's go ahead and get her ground down. Now this, I don't want to grind down. So we're going to go ahead and get the munitions out of here first. Let's do that. Alright, and then this one here also has munitions in it. Let's find out what we got. You see, we're losing reputation with the corporation, but we're gaining it back with the space pirates. Okay, looks like more GAT ammo. That's good. I'm willing to bet these guys here have a little bit of autocannon ammo in them. So let's go ahead and grind them down. And there it is. These, of course, being temporary containers, that simply means that they literally are temporary. Now this here looks like, yep, that's a cargo container here. So if we go ahead and grind down, boom, we got more ammo. And then we've got, let's see. And these are all heavy metal, so they're going to have grids on them, which is really nice. Now, when your reputation drops down to negative levels, like with IDT, where they hate you, it's almost impossible to get your reputation back with them, and anytime you encounter them, they're going to send drones after you to try to kill you. So you have to really be careful about wiping out your reputation with these guys, or any of these. Looks like this munition drop was heading down to the planet surface. Now let's see if there's anything in here. Nope, wasn't anything in there. Alright. This material is going to be really, really useful when we go to set up our base. Kind of fast tracks things when you do a little bit of piracy, but you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. In this case, we're not wiping out a ship, though. We're only taking care of a drone.
Energy low.
Alright, watching that energy.
Full.
Inventory full? Alright, well that's what we like to hear. Alright, back we go. Alright. Well, that overshot. Hey, thanks for watching and sticking with us through this. Again, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Alright. Let's go ahead and drop off all of our loot. We're gonna have to sit down and get some energy while we sit here and look at the situation. I'm pretty sure we can get a lot closer, so let's go ahead and bring her a little closer. I highly doubt there's another mine inside of that thing. Alright, we're going to let her coast, and once it comes to a stop, then we're going to go ahead and jump out, and we're going to get to work. Alright, let's get to work. We'll be using these components to improve our space pod into a little bit more of a proper ship. We'll probably go back to mining, and we'll get a drill on there and all that stuff. So, but right now we just need to get our components together. Now, if you want to do like a salvage run through or something like that, these kind of things are really, really nice for that. Alright, we're getting this all taken care of. Ah, parachute hatch. I figured this thing must go down to the planet surface. Which means they're probably... There might be a warship or some sort of supply ship out there somewhere. So for this playthrough, what we're going to do is we're not going to convert any ships. I was just thinking, I think for this playthrough to show you how to be able to do the space engineers thing in space, and we're not going to convert any ships, we're just going to use them for components. Unless you guys want to see conversions, so I'm more than happy to do it. All you have to do is just let me know in the comments, and we can make that happen.
Energy low. Energy critical.
Okay, so when energy is critical like this, Oh, we haven't done that yet. We've got some progression to do before we can do certain things. Like put a chair on this thing and get energy, which is what I was about to do, but I realized we have not gone over progression on this for this particular series. Alright, where's our ship? There it is. Let's see if we can do this without dying again. It's a lot closer this time. Alright, here we are.
No energy.
Yep, here we go again. Gotcha.
Energy low.
Yep, we're gonna have a sit down. This is how you build up energy like that. We'll have to go through our entire ship though and do progression real quick too before we begin working on our project. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and we vented the whole place, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this stuff off. The parachute's nice because we can make a parachute hatch, and in a pinch we can land this thing on a planet even if we wanted to with a parachute hatch, although I would definitely recommend against it. Alright, and here is our what's left of our drone. Go ahead and take these parts. It's a little bit more challenging to grind these things down when they're so small because they rotate in place, but that's physics for you. Equal and opposite actions and all that. And the last thing is going to be this. Now, if you notice, it says items will be lost if you remove. Watch when we do the power cells. Alright, it's all gone. And if you look, there's no power cells in here. Instead, we have scrap metal, 20 of them. And that's what happens when anytime you grind down on a power cell, you're going to lose, on a battery, you're going to lose the power cells. Now, as I mentioned before, if you saw the previous series, then you would know this, or maybe you could remember it. And if this is your first time, you're going to be learning this for the first time. The power cells only grind down like that into scrap metal on batteries. They do not do that on jump engines, hydrogen engines, stuff like that, where there's a power cell. It just doesn't do it. Only on the batteries. It's very odd. But we all have our theories. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to delete this one here because we don't need it. And now back to our respawn pod. Now sometimes what I'll do with the respawn pod though is if I have progression in play for all of the different components, I'll tear it apart and just rebuild a new ship. But we don't have that. So progression, well, what do we got to do? We got to build a landing gear. So let's go ahead and get that done first. I choose to use a magnetic plate. Because if I use a magnetic plate, I can literally actually land this thing on a location. So, I'm going to go ahead and shave this off of here. Alright, now, this is where we're going to put... we have a Space Pirate Mayday. Well, those are kind of tricky. If you go to a Space Pirate Mayday, there is a chance, however small, that you might really be in trouble. Because it's gonna... The Space Pirates, well, they have a propensity towards setting booby traps and ambushes. Alright, so this is where we're gonna put our assembler and our refinery. So let's go ahead and jump over here to our production section, and we're gonna go to basic refinery. And I don't know, I don't like that color. I like to do yellow. And we're going to do yellow, and we're going to do hazard paint on both of these items. No, not glamour armor. Hazard armor. There we go. I know it makes them stand out, but it also gives you a warning that this is definitely something that you need to like pay attention to. Let's go ahead and get our basic assembler in place. Now, as you can see, it only has one opening, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. And now, let's do this first. Alright, so we're going to jump in here. Now, we already might have enough computer components. Let's see. We do. We're going to go ahead and dump that off in there, and that, and that, and that, because we don't need either one of those. We do need those, this, and this. Alright. Oh, and we need displays. And we have displays. We have everything we need. Ironically, I think we even have enough to make an ore detector, which would be really useful. So, but that is something we might add to this. Huh. You know what we might do? We don't have a floor there, do we? Because of that. Huh. We might do an ore detector right here. That'd be cool. We could also do one, yeah, we could do one in the floor here if we wanted. I don't know, we'll have to see. Right now we're just getting this deal set up here. We could even put it up on the top, I guess. I don't know. To see where it looks good. Alright, so we got that in place. Look at that, look at that. That's starting to look a little bit more professional. Now, to do the drill, we could take it straight off of this right here. But if we do that, we're going to lose out on the entire side of our viewport, which really kind of sucks. Unless you don't want to have a viewport. So there's this little thing that I sometimes like to use because we have actual cockpits. We could go ahead and work our way through progression to get an actual cockpit if we wanted to. Okay, so we have those in place there. I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to go ahead and run over here. We're going to drop off all these materials. Look, we've got quite a bit of space left. We're going to run up here and we are going to... Oh, wait, we need to finish our landing gear. That way we can do what I'm about to do. It's also useful if you want to grab something. Okay. I like to do that just to be sure. And then now I've unlocked new blocks. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grind this down. And build that up just to be sure. I jump up here. Grind this down. That did that. And we're going to grind this down. Nope. Alright. Let's see if this brings us some new blocks. Nope. Alright, I'm going to see if this does.
Energy low.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, that didn't give us any new blocks either. So let's see about this gyro block. Let's make sure we can do it. Yep, we can. Okay. And this goes down here. Nope, new blocks with that either. Okay. Now we're going to come over here and try this. Yep, new blocks there. Outstanding. I wonder, does this give me new blocks? Nope. And I haven't researched it yet, so yeah, that kind of screwed us on that one, but it's not too bad. If anything, it's actually not that shabby. We can put like armor plate out the sides and stuff like that.
Energy critical.
Alright. Okay, now we're gonna check this real quick. Ah, good thing I didn't grind that down. Alright, let's have a seat. So that's how you go through and you get your progression on there. That's how you do some piracy and pick yourself up some extra components, which was really nice. We are not going to tangle with that Pirate Mayday. That is nothing but trouble. So that being said, well, we're near new rocks. So let's go hang out by these rocks and see what we can see. Alright, so we got some stuff to do. Got a lot of components here. We got some metal, got some computer chips, we got munitions basically too. I thought we had more detector components, but I guess we don't. Well, we definitely want to get a weapon system on here of some kind to keep the bad guys away. So I think a GAT might be in order. Let's go ahead and get ourselves our grids. Get this. Get a couple of these. Grab some of this. Alright, let's see if we can do a GAT. We also need to do our solar panels. But first things first, let's get a GAT up here. That way we have some sort of protection in case those guys come all looking again. Oh no, we can't do a GAT. Well, that sucks. Alright. We must... Oh, that's right. We have to have the other going on. No problem. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to remove these. Alright, on that side. We're going to remove on this side. The reason why we're removing them is because this is where our solar panels are going to go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change the color scheme yet again. Alright, now let's get some solar panels in place. Jump back to power. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these started. Now we just need a few more parts and we're good to go. Now I could have taken these out further. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna do that. I think they're better served to go out here. Yeah, there we go. That'll maximize the amount of viewing of them, so to speak. And this is kind of what you do. You work on your on this starter ship, get it all built up. Now, if you wind up getting toast and lose it, well, sorry. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to run down here. Let's see, where are those solar panel cells? There they are. Take those, we'll take the girders, and we'll take some of the glass. Alright. And now we have solar panels, and we have opened up new blocks. New options. Alright, so that takes care of that. We have one solar panel at least. That's good. So for now, Now we're going to replace this only because we want to be able to maintain a level of protection. It's also a great way to store metal parts. Alright. Alright, so that gives us a good start on our ship. As you can see, we now have refining capabilities. We also have we have some munitions, we have some extra components from the drone, and the next step is going to be getting our drill in place on the ship and being able to do some mining with the ship. That is really going to be a huge deal. I also want to get some quality of life things going on. I definitely like to get a bed, I like to get a little kitchen set up, I like to have a toilet, and I like to have a place to put my spacesuit with all my gear. An armory. And those are usually pretty critical to any build that I do in Space Engineers because that's your living area, you know? I like a little bit of realism in my game, so I like to add that to it. So anyway, that's how you get started with that part. Next episode we're going to get, when we go in, we're going to be going into finishing up the rebuild, get the drill in place, and be able to get the mining a little bit further along. Once we have the drill in place, we're going to go ahead and see about getting sleeping arrangements set up in here, and then once we're finished with that, we're going to go ahead and start looking for the rock we're going to call home. And then you can build an asteroid base on there and go from there. And if you want to do a mobile base, you're basically going to build on your ship, and that's your mobile base. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this survival tutorial. And if you have any questions, again, please leave comments below. I read every comment. I'm more than happy to answer in socials that I'm on. Just let me know. I really love this game, and I would love for you to be able to enjoy it as well and get all the benefits that I do. So anyways, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.